U.S. Senate Democrats conflict to pass $430 billion climate, drug invoice. Washington. The U.S. Senate on Saturday started out debating a Democratic invoice to address key factors of President Joe Biden's schedule tackling climate trade, decreasing the fees of drugs for the aged and energy, even as forcing corporations and the wealthy to pay greater taxes. The debate commenced after the Senate voted 5,150 to transport in advance with the law. Vice President Kamala Harris broke a tie vote, with all 50 Republicans in competition. The Senate changed into set to debate the invoice for up to 20 hours earlier than diving into an hard, time-consuming change method known as a votorama. Democrats and Republicans were poised to reject every difference amendments, as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer maneuvered to preserve his 50-member caucus united at the back of a bill that became negotiated over several months. If even one Democrat were to peel off, the whole attempt might be doomed within the evenly split 5,050 Senate. Earlier in the day, the Senate parliamentarian decided that the lion's share of the healthcare provisions inside the $430 billion bill could be surpassed with only an easy majority, bypassing a filibuster rule requiring 60 votes inside the 100-seat chamber to strengthen most law and permitting Democrats to pass it over Republican objections. Democrats hope that the rules will give a boost to their applicants within the November 8 midterm elections, wherein Biden's birthday celebration is in an uphill conflict to maintain its slim manage of the Senate and House of Representatives. The Democrats cast the rules as a car to combat inflation, a high difficulty of U.S. citizens this year. The invoice, while handed, will meet all of our goals: preventing climate exchange, reducing healthcare expenses, final tax loopholes abused by the rich, and decreasing the deficit, Schumer mentioned in a Senate speech. There are three essential elements to the invoice's tax provisions: a 15% minimum tax on companies and the ultimate of loopholes that the rich can use to keep away from paying taxes, tougher IRS enforcement, and a brand new excise tax on inventory buybacks. The regulation has $430 billion in new spending at the side of elevating more than $740 billion in new revenues. Democrats have said the regulation, with the aid of 2030, might bring about a 40% discount in U.S. carbon emissions, blamed for climate exchange. PRICEFIXING. The degree additionally might allow the Medicare Authority's medical insurance program for the age to start off negotiating in 2026 with the pharmaceutical industry over expenditures on a confined range of prescription drug expenditures as a manner of lowering expenses. It also might place a $2,000 per year cap on out-of-pocket medication expenses underneath a Medicare drug software. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell attacked the supply involving negotiating drug fees, comparing it to beyond price-fixing attempts by using countries which include Cuba, Venezuela, and the former Soviet Union. Their coverage would result in a global wherein many fewer new drugs and remedies get invented within the first vicinity as organizations cut again on R&D, McConnell said in a ground speech, referring to analyze and improvement. While senators debated the regulations embedded in the invoice, its political ramifications additionally have been on display. In a speech on the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC) on Saturday, former President Donald Trump predicted fallout for Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, two key Democratic senators. If this deal passes, they are each going to lose their next elections. But Manchin and Sinema are not up for re-election until 2024, and a few of the provisions of the invoice are famous with citizens. The legislation is a scaled-down version of a miles broader, extra expensive degree that many Democrats at the birthday celebrations left had was hoping to approve remaining 12 months.